Hello, this is Problem Machine, and I'm gonna play a little bit more Super House of Dead Ninjas. I went back and looked at the last video, and I feel like this is working pretty well. You know, because the game is so action-packed, it leads to a little bit of fragmented commentary, and you know, I don't know how much longevity it'll have, but it's fun to at least pick up and play for a little while. And oh, looks like I unlocked another shortcut. I guess because I beat that turtle boss. So why don't we just stick with the shortcuts for now, and at the point where I can actually get through the game, I can look up reasons not to do that if I want to stick with it, you know, and play more of the game. Oh, this place looks very different. There's no reason to go over there. There's just spikes. Oh, there's a shield. That guy has a shield. Okay. So, I don't know. I read the comic that it was telling me to read, and apparently it's kind of like a tutorial comic that actually tells you things about how to play the game. I was reminded of because of these fire-breathing statues here. It tells you how to deal with these fire-breathing statues in the comic. Oops. Turned around. The reason why I went... Oh, that's not safe. The reason why I went back there is just because I saw that blue crack in the ground. And I guess you probably need a box, or a bomb, to open those cracks. Which I'm still not used to using special items like that. I'm really bad about that in games in general, you know, there's sort of the too good to use syndrome. That's not even what it is, I just never think to use things like that. Ooh, that was ugly. Well, looks like I got to a new area-ish. Oops. I unlocked something, so that's cool. I always... Because in most games, like when there are enemies like that try and crush you, if you're fast, you can just run past... Ooh, that's gruesome. You can just run past before they fall. So I'm not used to that enemies like that where that's not the case. Where the direct... Ooh, I didn't realize that exploded. This game is getting notably harder, I'm noticing. Oh, jeez. See? That's a whole new thing. There's a lot to learn as you go in this game. I mean, it's kind of like that with all of these sort of neo-roguelike types like Spelunky and whatnot, that you have to learn the new gameplay elements as you go. But you have to learn them so quickly in this game. I'm just taking the time to talk here since I can pause, since the time stops. So, I don't think there's any way, like, visible difference between these. So it's like the Toad houses in Mario 3, I mean, it's kind of all random, so just... Can I open these? No. So just open whichever. Oh. Gotta take advantage of that invincibility. So, like, I think this is working okay, but the biggest reason I can see not to do a lot of these is I don't know if there's really an audience for this game. You know, I mean, it's gonna be a while before I get an audience at any rate, but there's no reason to make it harder than it already is to get viewers. You know, I'm only doing this partially to build an audience. I mean, partially it's just a fun thing for me to do. But... Whoa! There's a guy there. I can't get to it, whatever. Don't want to waste the time. What? I can't tell what killed me there. One thing that I'm not wild about with this game's design is that there's all these readouts on the lower left here, which are completely out of the way. Oh, not to a boss. I'm probably not going to beat this boss. They're completely out of the way. Oh, this guy was in the comic. Oops. Little bit of a puzzle boss there, and I did not solve the puzzle. Let's see what I unlocked. Oh, and I also tweaked the levels. Listening back, the levels in the game were a little too high, so hopefully it'll be better this time. I love the names that they come up with here. From the description, this sounds like a weapon in Symphony of the Night that I really dislike, but you know, I'll try it out, see how it works for me. Why am I still using the nunchucks? I don't actually like them that much. My favorite, I think, of the ones I've tried is still the sword, just because it has the best spinning and dropping attacks. And I use those a lot, like way more than the standard attack. See? Like that. Ooh! I slid into him. Ow. Blood. I'm not sure if I like the slowdown effect, the sort of cinematic slowdown effect. I feel like that's throwing off my timing. I'm not gonna... This is rather tricky. I can take it slowly and increase my odds. I'm not sure how great... I mean, I've said a lot of things about it. Yeah, I'm not sure how great this works for commentary, but so much of what I end up saying is just these exclamations like, oh shit, fuck, like that, as that sort of tiny tunnel is my worst enemy, as somebody who loves the plunging attack. Jeez. This area is kicking my ass. I don't know what you're supposed to do versus those. I guess those ones are always on, you can just jump over their attack. Oh. Too aggressive. Like, this game is not quite as strictly principled about it as Downwell is, but it has kind of the Downwell thing where you have to be moving all the time. Those frogs, man. At least I got an item for them. For dying. I thought I died there. I might feel different about these nunchucks if I was in the habit of reflecting shots using them.
Bonus. Ninja.
Oh, whoa. Probably I need to get in the habit of taking some of these bits a little bit slower, because there are some traps, like just falling directly into spikes for those situations where one gets too aggressive. I don't know what these guys do. apparently they explode into fire, which made that rather a nasty situation. Oh, not that.
One up.
I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit of a flow going here. And back to the boss, and much quicker and better than last time. Let's see if I can figure this out. Do I want to be hitting him while he's charging? Is that the idea? Oh god, it's exactly like that weapon. I hoped it wasn't like...
This is not good.
This would be much more feasible if I hadn't... Yeah, okay, let's switch off of that terrible, terrible weapon. And back to, Okay, this isn't actually any better than the normal one, I don't think, unless there's a benefit to beheading. I got an upgrade. Ah, extra lives. That's certainly useful. Okay, and you just get these for dying a lot, so that's nothing to be proud of, apparently. And actually that's another reason to start from the beginning, is because it starts off easier, and I think it increases your odds of getting these upgrades for, like, killing a bunch of monsters. And for surviving for a certain amount of time. Anyway, so let's... I feel like I want to go back to the sword, because I really like the spin attack for it. And yeah, I'm gonna stick with the shuriken, and let's head back in.
Foolish girl, you will not get far. Time.
Oops.
Magic.
I guess I was kind of pressing a little bit forward for that last... I don't need the points. For that last one there, which is why I didn't charge up my super jump properly. I would have been good to have killed that named guy, since those guys always drop items. It's weird that there's not really one spot for the tutorialization in this game. It's like some of the tutorial stuff is in the first tower, some of it's from the ghosts. Oh, my rage ran out. Some of it's from the ghosts, and some of it's in the comic, which is the weirdest thing.
Audacious.
I guess those guys would probably be a good time to use a bomb,
Such skill.
since that would do the damage to kill them, and it would break the wall at the same time. Monkeyed. Down, down. Also, the game just feels better when I'm moving as quickly as possible. I think of it as like the Super Meat Boy problem, where I was kind of not willing to not play any level as quickly as possible, because that was just the most fun way for me to play the game. Oh, it made it relatively easy to get good par times. Ah, jeez. See? That's the thing. Anything that requires caution just becomes very dangerous when you want to play that way. But this is why my fucking nemesis in Super Meat Boy is like the second to the last level, where it's really long, so there are just so many opportunities to make mistakes that my style of rushing through it is like not very successful, and tends to make me very frustrated. And like, I kind of feel like it was a little bit of a mistake to make that level that way, just because like, so much of what makes Super Meat Boy enjoyable for a lot of it is the fact that you don't really lose a lot when you mess up and die. So I guess Rage just makes you invincible for a while. I like the little Mega Man enemy thing there. Oops. I tried to attack that guy. He's invulnerable. Or at least to normal attacks. You might be able to kill him with bombs or something. Nope. I was... Those porcupine guys always mess me up.
Hentai.
Nope, that doesn't hurt him. So it looks like I've got to be kind of aggressive on this guy. This is the first kind of real boss. First two are not very challenging. It's hard to control your momentum to get precise attacks too. This is where having a longer range weapon comes in really handy. This is not going well. Because I want to get behind him, because sometimes he has that sword attack that just covers the entire area in front. Yeah, as I thought. Still picking up the shuriken after I die. Did I unlock something new? Nothing very exciting. Okay, I'm just gonna like equipping these as I go since there's no real difference. I didn't make note of the time when I started recording, but I guess it's been about 10 minutes. Just making note of that for future purposes. It's always so satisfying just drilling through a bunch of blocks like that. Oh! Bomb fell on me. Oh, water. Crap. Ooh.
That must have hurt.
Not going super well so far.
Good ninja.
This is going really poorly. Oh, well, I guess I'm not getting that. Oh. So that was one of the things I unlocked a little while ago, was the instant rage power-up. I don't know how to get these still. I mean, I got that one, but that doesn't really give me a general principle to follow for future ones that are kind of hidden in a crack. But, the momentum in this game, man. Very tricky sometimes. Wow, that simultaneous jump sounded pretty loud. Oh, I have rage. I can go through that. Always takes me... Oops, ran out. Always takes me by surprise that the combo thing makes you invulnerable for a little while, because that's unusual. Okay, you're not a tutorial. You're a flavor ghost. Welcome to Flavor Ghost. I kind of wish they used a different palette for those statues, because they look so much like normal enemies. And if you treat them like normal enemies, you die. Whatever. I really need to get in the habit of using these items more. Oh, okay. Well, at least I broke even on him. Oh. These falls are so tricky for me. Because, like I said, you know, I want to go through everything quick. Gotta go fast. That was close. Oh! Again, anything that requires me to stop moving for a moment, I'm just terrible at. It's my one weakness. Aside from all of my other weaknesses.
One off.
Okay, back to the boss. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do to this guy. I'm gonna try magic. That didn't seem to do a lot. Yeah, if I take the time to jump over him, it feels like I just always, lose my chance to attack. But he doesn't seem to have a lot of vulnerability, or invulnerability. So one good combo really hurts him. So I can probably trade with him now if I get to him soon enough, which I did that time. Ah. Oh, I missed. Got you. Oh. This is apparently, probably the last boss. He looks pretty fucking sweet, I'll give him that. What the heck am I supposed to be doing here? I guess I'm supposed to be attacking that when it drops. Oh, that was my last life. What did I get? Oh, I got an upgraded sword. Whoops, and I forgot to equip it. Let's try that again. Oh, and a new magic. I guess I'll use that. I never use magic, so it doesn't matter a whole lot. But... oh, another beheading one. Is there... well, I'm curious whether there's an actual benefit to weapons like that, but... let's go back in.
This is not hard.
Oh god, this particular obstacle, just every time. If there's ever an optional item that gives me some way to deal with spikes like that. Oh. I think if I had one big criticism of this game, it would just be it's very difficult to tell which enemies are killable or are invulnerable just by looking at them. It tends to be something you need to die to find out, which is not very satisfying. And I feel like a little bit of more judicious use of palette could have helped a lot with that problem. Like, there's sort of a lot of established wisdom with platformer games as to how you communicate with enemy design, what the properties of that enemy are. And, you know, it's not something that you have to follow, but it's something that is less frustrating to the player if you do. So, like, indestructible statues are usually gray, at least to start with.
Bonus.
You know, later on you can introduce palette swapped versions of the same thing, and because you're used to the silhouette of it, it doesn't bother you as much, or, you know, it communicates better. I like the sound those guys make too.
Never thought of quitting.
I feel like each time I'm going through a little bit faster and easier, but it's still not fast and easy. I guess it's kind of fast, it's not easy. Okay, I got back to this guy pretty well. Works better if I don't run into him. Which apparently is the big challenge I have with this fight, is just not running into him. So that's what I want, is I want to get in there and punish him. Oops. I turned it around a little bit, but that was still pretty piss poor. Hopefully this will at least let me survive the last boss long enough to maybe get an idea of what I'm supposed to be doing.
I'm amazed you made it this far.
Nope, that didn't do much. Did that do damage? I can't tell. I don't know what that does yet. So does that just always do 2 damage unavoidably? Maybe if you hit it sooner. Oh god, 2 damage. And that one catches me a lot too.
Never thought of quitting.
What hit me? I don't even know what killed me. Okay, well that's probably enough for this episode, and hopefully there'll be enough substance to make more. But I'll see about that as we go. Well, thanks for watching, and this has been Problem Machine.